Hi, welcome to Cherie's Weight Loss Journey. Hope you didn't miss me too bad, but sometimes we just have to take a time out, right? Like, oh, I gotta take a time out. Yep, sometimes we gotta take a time out. Not that we wasn't productive, you know, on the inside, but, you know, we had to take a time out on the outside. Hold on. All right. So, yeah, it is the 28th. And thunderstorms and raining. I've been sticking to my diet. And I cannot tell you how good it feels to have underwear that fit. It makes you feel so good to have underwear that fit, because my underwear was starting to get baggy and saggy. It's just like, wow. But I had got some new underwear, and now it feels good. It feels good to have fitting underwear. Don't let nobody not let you buy your underwear that makes you feel good inside. Okay? Another thing that makes me feel good is my armpits. I'm starting to get arches in my armpits. Before, they were just like flooded and overflowing and very, very wide, seeping out from around my bra. And it was just, it's a horrible thing when your armpits fall. When your armpits fall and your arches in your feet, when they fall also, you have to truly work at getting them back, because those are places where your lymph nodes are. And if they're swollen, right? If you can't see the arches in your feet or the arches in your armpit, that's truly, an alarm that you need to work at your diet and your exercise. Because fallen arches in your feet doesn't feel good. And you definitely don't want to be on your feet for very long. So, if we apply that same principle to your armpits, okay? So, like I said, I've been pretty much sticking to my diet, mainly eating salads, right? Cooking up, some chicken and having chicken and salad, or a chicken salad, which is what I brought for lunch today. Today I brought a chicken salad. I brought 2 Greek yogurts with some protein cereal. I have my protein bars. I have my nut bars. I also have my my protein shakes, and oh shit, I forgot my protein chips. Okay, no problem. But I had to put the trash out today because the trash didn't pick up yesterday. It's picking up today. No problem. You know, I prefer to get the trash out. I have enough snacks for today. I just really wanted, you know, to have an option of having the protein chips. But sometimes, you know, I do want something crunchy. Crunchy. Yeah. I know there's a lot of dissension in the astral realm because they didn't listen to me when I told them. I said, ooh, we're going to have a no-fly zone. And they were like, they were going to try to fly anyway. Right? They were going to try to conjure spirits anyway. Okay? Okay. How'd that work out for you? Well, you got nobody to blame but yourself for not listening, right? Not heeding any warnings, and not even following your own intuition. Shame on you. Shame on you. Everybody is excited about 2025. We're all excited about that. Even Biden is excited. He's like, oh shit, you know, let me hurry up and, you know, try to, you know, put into law some things before his term is up. But he already showed Trump that you can nullify any laws that was put into place once you get in office, because that's what Biden did, right? He was changing the laws. That dude almost changed the Constitution. Yeah. So, woo, imagine that. I've been watching some videos about the way that the clubs used to be. See, the music industry never would have taken off the way that it had taken off if people weren't going to the clubs, you know, inventing new dance moves, creating, you know, dance ensembles. Wow. What the hell? A flipped over truck. My goodness. I almost was ready to take a picture of that one. Anyway, hopefully, you know, emergency vehicles will be on the way. I got my 45 grams of protein here. And I mixed in my collagen and my 15 grams of fiber so that I can start my day out right. It's so weird. I didn't have to go in any earlier today. Matter of fact, I'm back to regular scheduled time. And I forgot to take my vitamins, but that's okay. I still have some in my purse. I mean, my backpack. My backpack. And, I thought I was sick, and I was sick for like a day or two. Yeah. Who knows how long I was sick. But anyway, I beefed up the vitamin C and the zinc, and now I feel, better. I feel better. The temperature outside is 57. That's mild to what we had been experiencing, which was in the 40s, and it even got down into the 30s. It is interesting to me because I've been watching people who are constantly talking about, pagan holidays, right? And I'm like, yeah, but you're a pagan. Why are you worried about pagan holidays? Right? And, it just seems like their explanation that they gave was simply that they didn't want to spend money, right? They were talking about not wanting to spend money on dates. They're still talking about not wanting, to spend money on anything, right? And, I also want to give big shout outs and congratulations to the Femme Freeze. I know y'all did it. Wait. Yes. Why? Because this has made a difference. And the difference that it made was it was a bruise to the ego of these men who think that they're gods and that they lord over women or any man that's weaker than them that they treat like a woman, right? If there's a man out there that's weaker than them, they automatically, categorize them as a feminine man, right? But as people are starting to empower themselves, they're starting to say, well, damn, they're not as weak as they thought. Okay? It's really weird how these people thought nice people are forced by their innate nature to be nice until they're shown differently. Okay? Because they're ignorant. One of the things that I had came across was the consequences of inbreeding. When you have all of these unknown illegitimate children out there, we don't know what kind of chromosomal mutations will happen. And there was this argument about, people having dual genitalia. Okay? And immediately it was downloaded to me that this mutation of the genitalia is a result of chromosomal mutation, meaning that somehow or another the DNA was too closely related, right? And it was also downloaded to me that this happens a lot in communities that have arranged marriages, isolated tribal type of communities where, you know, the possibility of inbreeding is highly increased, right? You know, here in America, they had established a law that, you know, they have to be like at least second cousins, you know, if they were even thinking about inbreeding. But for whatever reason, you know, some people, let's keep it real. For whatever reason, men keep thinking that, hey, you know, they can breed with family members, close family members, and not suffer consequences. And what blew my mind is sometimes these mutations occur later in life. Sometimes it's immediate, sometimes it's at birth. Sometimes it's even before the fetus even gets out of the womb. Okay? So that was one of the things that, you know, I wanted to talk about is, you know, we have to definitely be careful, right? This is one of the reasons why, you know, they want a record, you know, of families, so that when it comes time to inbreeding, there won't be these children born with disabilities, right? Because disabilities don't only happen when, you know, you're older and you know, and a lot of your cells and stuff are distorted. Your genes get distorted as you age. They break down. Okay? So when you're older and you know, you have, you know, you have children, you know, that's why some of them, they come out with, you know, with problems, you know, disabilities. So here's some of the things, you know, that they were talking about when it comes symptoms. Some of the symptoms of inbreeding. Some of the symptoms of inbreeding is low IQ. When you have low IQ, you have an inability to learn, right? Your learning gets cut back by at least 10%, right? So say you wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed, but you do some inbreeding, right? Say you're at I guess like a 110 or a 120, right? Maybe you consider yourself, you know, average at 100, right? But as a result of inbreeding, your children may be born with an IQ of, say, 90 or 100 max, right? They're definitely not only, put at a disadvantage, even if you try to teach them. They don't have the cognitive ability of long-term memory. Okay? Then they have behavioral problems, right? They have a lack of control of their emotions. And aggression is high on that spectrum. It was also downloaded to me that, that possibly is related to MS, muscular sclerosis, that, usually hit people later in life. And I was like, are you serious? And, and it's like, hey, you got the download. What? Why are you asking questions? I was like, oh, okay. How sad. That's really sad. That, certain people don't, take under consideration the necessary why it's necessary, to broaden your gene pool, right? And yeah. And another thing that I was contemplating was the notion that men think that they have the right to punish women or take their frustrations out on women, right? So that's a double whammy. That's two separate things, right? They'll punish women for not reading their minds or not being intuitive enough to be intuitive enough to maneuver around them. But if they had a bad day or they were frustrated by their day, they think that it's okay, to punch down on their females, right? However, not all women are born, of the water goddess or the moon goddess, okay? We have females that are born of the sun goddess and of Venus. Okay? So, but men who claim that they're spiritual, they obviously don't understand this, right? They see one type of woman and they try to overgeneralize the definition of women as that all women are this way, right? That's almost like saying that all men are a certain way. And all men aren't a certain way. Now, it could appear like all men are a certain way if they, if and when they subscribe to the man cult, right? And a lot of the men have lowered the bar of what it is to be a man out of pure laziness, right? They don't want to advance. They don't want to progress. They want to stay in, their lower energies. And they get mad when other people, and especially other men, other people, everybody, they don't want women, elevating spiritually at all, right? So then it was downloaded to me that women will have the tendency, a chance to develop or ascend spiritually at some point, even if the man is oppressive. That's why most of the time when you see mythology and stuff, you will see that the majority of the spirits surrounding the God figure is feminine. They're feminine goddesses, right? You won't find very many gods, masculine energies surrounding God, because they're too competitive, right? And eventually, they'll think that, they're supposed to, even challenge, their own father, right? They may even kill their own father. Okay? So, yeah. I did come across where the young people are having an understanding that you don't go from the 3D and automatically go into the 5D, that you spend a lot of trials and testing in the 4D. That's what the 4D is about. There is a book, if you want to read it. It's called The Celestine Prophecy, Fourth Dimension, that talks about that. I had read The Celestine Prophecy back when I was about 15. Yeah, when I was about 15 years old. So there are tools out there that you can utilize. The whole thing is if you don't have the cognitive ability to understand, then, the best thing I would recommend is you stay religious and follow the religious teachings not the religious culture and tradition, but the religious teachings, to the letter. Okay? And I'm emphasizing that because a lot of people will allow ministers, pastors, preachers, narrate, their interpretation of these of religious documents, and with purpose, on purpose. The same way they like to do law, our law, right? Or rules, anytime there's like a law or a rule, rather than, accept the letter of the law, they prefer to make an interpretation and say, this is the reason why, the wording of such things are so ambiguous, and other people are like, no, it's not ambiguous. But, they pontify and they stand, on, their righteous confidence that they're, telling you this to be a fact and true. And, a lot of people, they cave under, rather than come across as opposition that might create, dissension. And I don't blame them. Because, we see that a lot of people are very malicious when they feel like somebody opposes, their views or their agendas. And a lot of people are like, they don't want no smoke. Because where there's smoke, there's fire. So, yeah. I feel like I put a lot of information in this video, basically trying to catch up and not the condiment on, the days that I hadn't did any recordings. And, basically hoping that we bring, a net positive into this new year coming up, 2025, which is a 9, that we, that we're taking it serious, that, this is a time of a year of the 9th house, which is the house of Sagittarius. And of course, everybody Everybody and their mama out there is claiming victory. Oh, I got victory. I got victory. Right? And that's beautiful. Claim victory. Right? And while you're claiming victory, just be happy with anything that you receive. Right? Because you're still alive. You're still alive. Okay? Try to treat every day like a new beginning, and that, to grow more than what you were yesterday in a positive way. Um, and at the end of each night, reflect on the things that, you were afraid of, analyze why you was afraid. Because your fears are your fears. It's not the world's fears. A lot of times, if you know yourself, if you thoroughly know yourself, then, you don't have to spend so much time trying to figure out, why you felt a certain way, why, you were challenged. And and you can learn from that and build on that. That way, when you wake up the next day, if you were to come across a similar situation, you had already reflected why, you were challenged, and, what you would have done if you could have did a do-over. Right? And a lot of people will say that the Mercury retrograde is about reflection and, being able to, learn from, past mistakes. That's an imposed energy. However, if you're doing it like uh, a nightly routine, then, Mercury retrograde would just, would be so simple. Okay? So anyway, I hope and pray that people have calmed down. Remember that this was the year for the BOI, where you have to report yourself and your streams of income. Because if you don't, it can be problematic with the IRS, and, you'll be caught with fines and interest that you hadn't anticipated. I know, I think it was like 2 years ago, they made some amendments to the bankruptcy laws, so that it would be harder to wash out your debts. So if you're thinking bankruptcy, then uh, either talk to a bankrupt lawyer or do your research on bankruptcy. Because IRS interest rates are compounded daily. Um, what else? So the new year will be on Wednesday, and gee, um, I hope you're excited about it. I'm excited about it. I've been spending this whole year, developing a new routine and trying to get rid of bad habits, right? How do you get rid of bad habits? By replacing those habits with better habits, good habits, right? Um, and I hope that you do the same, and that, yeah, that's all I got to say.